Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of my podcast. My name is Alex Makali. I am a realtor here in Toronto, Ontario, where I talk about real estate, life, personal development, life of Filipino here in Canada, all the way down to your day-to-day gossip. So today we're going to talk about interest rate. Boy, oh boy, interest rate again went up to another 0.25% or a 25 basis point yesterday. So let's talk about what this interest rate really means to our real estate this year of 2023. So I'm gonna bring to you guys an article from CBC News. It says Bank of Canada raised interest rate again, but hits pause on any more for now. Hmm. So the key takeaway on this article is this section here where it says, so this is Bank of Canada saying this. It says, with today's modest increase, we expect to pause rate hikes while we assess the impacts of substantial monetary policy tightening already undertaken. He said, to be clear, this is a conditional pause. It is conditional on the economic developments evolving broadly in line with our outlook. So what the government of Canada is saying is that depending on what will happen with this interest rate increase yesterday, we may see another increase March of in the next meeting, March of this year of 2023. So what is this interest rate hike means for us in our real estate market? Well, this interest rate hike will have an impact in the buyer's confidence buying a property this year because of what they can qualify now and also what their affordability is. But the key question we should be asking is why did the government of Canada increase rates of 25 basis points yesterday? I think this is the question that we should be asking. And the answer to that is to combat inflation. Um, we had an inflation last year in the upper of sevens, right? And even though at the end of last year in December, we saw a little bit of progress of positive changes in the inflation, uh, and the inflation went down just a little bit, but that is not enough for the government of Canada to really hit the brake. Okay, the government of Canada is actually shooting to the average of 2.5% inflation to bring down the inflation to 2.5%. Whether or not that is achievable is another story because we all know that we still have the war in Ukraine, that is driving the cost of our commodities from the gas price to our groceries, such as your bread and our day to day expenses due to the disruption of supply chain that will have an impact on many of us Canadians, right? So this hike yesterday is basically temporary. It's just a metrics for the government of Canada to see if this will have an impact in our inflation and to our economy. Whether this is a right thing to do is really beyond me. Because if you really think about it, right? If you really want to stabilize the economy, you would want people to spend money. And by taking money away from the public, it will have a negative impact on the confidence in our economy. So this is where Bank of Canada is trying to draw the line and a wait and see approach whether they would need to have another increase in the next meeting, which is March of this year of 2023. Okay. So here's my predictions of what will happen this year with this 25 basis point rate hike yesterday. One, if the inflation do not change to the Bank of Canada's projected target rate of 2.5%, we may see another hike in March in the next meeting. And this will really set a tone towards a recession. On the flip side, if we see the amount of inventory rising this spring, we may see a slow market where a house will be sitting for 15 to 30 days average in the GTA that may contribute to further price reductions. Okay. On the other hand, if we don't see an inventory rising by the spring of this year, we may see a balanced market where some properties that are well price will receive some competing offers or a bidding war. It might not be the same as what we have seen during the pandemic, but those properties that are well advertised and well positioned, especially those bungalows in the GTA, the entry level home, those were the ones that we may see a bidding war on, because there are people out there that are just sitting in the sidelines. They are just waiting, right? In terms of interest rates, what we're going to see this year is we're going to see fixed rate will adjust compared to the variable rates. Usually, a variable rate tends to be lower than the fixed rate, but somewhere this year, you will see banks will start offering fixed rate more competitively compared to a variable rates. And for those ones refinancing a property, this may be a best time for you to lock in your rate. So the bottom line is that depending on how the public takes it, whether it's a positive or a negative, that will dictate the course of our real estate this year. So here's my advice for you guys. If you are upsizing or planning to upsize your property, this is the best time to actually do it because of the difference in the delta. You are selling a property in the lower price and you're also buying it at the lower price compared to when the price is higher and you have to buy higher because your income needs to qualify for a higher price, right? So the lower the price, the better for buyers because of the qualifications, right? But if you are refinancing your property, pay attention to the fixed rate this year. You will see a fixed rate. More and more banks will be offering a better fixed rate than the variable rate this year. So pay attention to the fixed rate this year if you're refinancing your property. So guys, if you like this type of content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I will promise you that I will make more content such as like this in the future.